We welcome onto the show Mr. Arman Jovic, aka PDT Scouting. You can follow him at PDT Scouting. You've probably seen him on your timelines before doing great work breaking down all of these international players coming over to college basketball. But today we want to talk a little bit further about Kentucky's big commit, Anrdija Jelavic. So let's just start broadly here. For any Kentucky fans who are unfamiliar with Mr. Yelovic's game, what are they getting?
They're getting, I think probably the best fit for Mark Pope's offense you could have got out of Europe. Truthfully, 6'11", very, very well, very agile, big. He can dribble the ball, he can handle it, he can bring it up. He's explosive out the bounce. Honestly, I told this to some Kentucky insiders. I said think creation Grant Nelson with him because he reminds me of Nelson a little bit. I even told his agent that too, because I think he has that same explosiveness a little bit. I don't think the same balance, but just having a 6'11" big who can switch in the perimeter and guard guys one on one's huge, and then can create his own shot a little bit, a slasher, a shooter, rim protector, a lot to like. So having a 6'11" do it all big is you're not going to find that a lot in the portal. So I think Mark Pope jumped internationally and got one of the best ones you could get. So
Do you think that obviously Kentucky is a huge brand with a lot of, I guess, budget, for lack of a better word? They've brought in stars in the backcourt. They've brought in Jaden Quaintance in the front court. They're building an insane collection of talent from all sources right now, high school level, the portal, international waters. Do you view Yelovich as a guy that Mark Pope will prioritize and have as a big part of this rotation, or is this more of a project ad for Kentucky?
I think I wouldn't call him a project, but it's hard obviously to count international players. 'Cause I felt in the past there's some international players who went to the SEC that I thought could have been players and they didn't really play a lot. So 'cause I think SEC is definitely the hardest level for international players because of the athleticism gap. You're not going to quite find anything like that even in the NBA. It's not the same. So I think part of it is going to have a little time adjusting to the speed and to physicality. I think non-conference would be good to get him playing 30, 25 minutes, start him off, honestly, playing a lot to get him, adjusted to the American play style. And then when it comes to ACC, we'll see how he can adapt. I think, honestly, you watched, obviously, I compare him to Grant Nelson a lot. I
Yep.
think Grant has some times, so he needed to adjust to the SEC. And I think as his first season went on, he got better and better. And then obviously, last season was exactly the same as the end of the first year. So I think if you can just get him seasoned and conditioned to kind of the speed and tempo of the SEC to start the season off, I think he can be at least a 20-minute per game player in the SEC. And I think the way Mark Pope built the roster, I think JQ might be hurt for maybe a couple of games because when they say he's back by November, it's hard to really assume he's going to really be back by November. So just for cautionary, I think it's good to have at least maybe JQ sit if he's not fully healthy and have Yelovich play, 30 minutes a game. They kind of get adjusted. And when it comes to SEC play, and if he's not ready to play those 30 minutes a game, you still have 20 or 15 minutes available. So I think he's going to play though, personally.
Yeah.
You might notice there's a lot of lights on behind me. There's a big ring light I'm using to record this. You want to know why those lights stay on? Because of Underdog, because of these ad reads, people.
Yeah, we heard your feedback. You're annoyed that we keep putting underdog ads in the middle of our videos. Well, guess what? We got to keep the lights on and we need some people to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. If you like these videos, if you want us to keep making videos, sign up with Underdog Fantasy, use promo code SLEEPERS, and they actually have an awesome offer for you. You can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credits. 50% of your first deposit will be distributed in bonus credits, and you get a free pick. And Cart, I got a pick with Underdog Fantasy for this weekend that I'm already eyeing. We got the Pistons and the Knicks, first playoff series in a while for our favorite team. Cade Cunningham over 27 and a half points. I'm taking higher than that for my pick with Underdog. Promo code SLEEPERS. Sign up with Underdog Fantasy. It helps the show. It helps us keep making these videos for you. Back to the show. Okay, well, that's good to know. Yeah, I mentioned Nelson was my comp in the original breakdown, largely because I just watched like a guy that size moving that fluidly with a little athletic pop to him that can also step out and shoot it. That's immediately what I saw. And I love your point about Nelson, obviously an American kid, but like started in a much different level than the SEC, was a total stud, dominated games, and then needed a big adjustment curve. Even as good as Grant Nelson was, it took him really that full first year to get to where we saw him his final season at Alabama. So I think Mark Pope's a good coach to kind of, I don't know, massage you through the adjustment curve. Like obviously he's developed a lot of great players. A bunch of guys that he brought in last year went from role players to the best versions of themselves. We know he's an offensive genius, so it seems like a pretty great fit. And your point about Quaintance with the injury should be some pretty big opportunity for him early. I look at this Kentucky roster. They've added a lot of shooting, a lot of wings, a lot of guards. They really haven't gone after a bunch of big fours, though, right? Like they've got Garrison back and Quaintance at the 5. To me, Yelovich is really the only big power forward type they've even targeted, which to me sort of does indicate they view him in a big on-court role. Do you think that's a fair read?
Yeah, I think it's fair. And also I'll say this too, like with international players, normally you wouldn't see them commit so early. And I'll give credit to his agency because his agency's been big on finding placements early. So they have time to get them on June and campus and everything. But you remember Kasparis, for example, he didn't commit until end of May. Same with Yegor Demin. Like those guys took some time. You're probably going to see some big names, international players come and commit in May or June. And so Kentucky finding their guy quickly kind of leads me as to assume because Yelovich is 21. He's not going to be a 4-year freshman eligibility. So it's going to be probably 3 years, most likely, which is going to be a transfer at the end of the day. So I think they view this as a transfer and they target him as a transfer and they're expecting to play it as like, transfer minutes. So I think the way I see it is he's probably going to play a lot as they're kind of switch big. I'm not going to say Andrew Carr, because that was the role I think he's going to play into, though. But maybe Andrew Carr with obviously just a completely different game and maybe more versatile, where I think really going to be important for this team because JQ very versatile, not quite. I don't think JQ can bring the ball up and kind of initiate some plays, and then Mo was 6'7", and then Brandon Garrison's a true rim running big. So I think it's really big to have a player like this, though. Really important.
Yeah, big time upside compared to Carr. I felt like Carr was a high floor guy, and this is certainly a higher ceiling if Pope can figure it out. All right, there you have it. We'll have more on all things Kentucky in the coming days. But thank you very much to Arman for being here to guide us through this. Follow him at PDT Scouting for all the great work that he's doing.